If you don't go for it, you're not going to get it, and you're not going to have anybody to blame but you.
I love me all big low vibrational plates.
Sometimes you're not shy, you just need to find your people.
You are not the main character in somebody else's thoughts.
Anyway, my biggest lesson this year is online is fake. Hello and welcome to the To My Sisters podcast. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Renee, and we are your online sisters and hosts of the To My Sisters podcast.
We are all about promoting the wellness, growth and development of a community of sisters across the world.
And in today's episode, we're going to be doing a little bit of girl chat. It is the last month of the year, which is absolutely insane. And I thought it would be nice to have a nice little cozy girl chat where we'll be talking about overcoming embarrassments. We'll also be talking about low vibrational plates. And we'll also be talking about unpacking Icks.
It's so funny. The low vibrational plates one was something I was going to do a girl chat on my channel. So I'm glad we're talking about it here first.
I can't wait to dig into this one. But before we do get into all of that, we will be doing a little bit of housekeeping. So the first is, of course, it's a new month, which means we have a vision winner.
Love to see
to celebrate. Now, the last vision challenge was to do nothing other than buy a book from yours truly.
And the girls rode out.
They rode out. I was seeing screenshots.
Girl.
And also, actually, before we get into that, sisters, actually, thank you. We were looking at our Spotify Wrapped. Yeah, we got to say some big thank yous because we were looking at our Spotify Wrapped and the stats are insane.
We have grown so much this year, like over 100 countries. Like 700% increase in like streams.
Yo,
we were looking at the stats like, damn, we knew there was a lot of you, but we didn't know it was this
that
much.
Many of you, yeah. And it's honestly just so encouraging to see because it reminds us that the work that we do is actually important.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Courtney can attest to this, but sometimes when we're having our conversations, it can be really difficult for us to understand the true scope of the folks that are listening to us. But also, we have some ride or dies, like. Our personality, right? Our personality type of listeners that, tune into the To My Sisters podcast is you guys are some devoted guys. You really be listening. So we want to thank each and every one of you for listening to this podcast, for supporting this podcast, supporting our platform, the work that we do. Those of you that have donated to some of our fundraisers, those of you that have come out to our live shows, those that have bought the book, those of you that have just been ride or die devotee sisters. We love you and we are so excited to continue this journey with you. 2023 is set to be an absolute I don't even know how to prepare you guys adequately for what we've got coming in store for you next year. All I'm just going to say is if you're a devotee, now is the time for you to strap your wig on quite tightly because we're going 100 miles per hour in 2023. Yeah. So thank you so much. And we would love to honor the babe that has won the last vision challenge, and shout out to everybody else that has pre-ordered our book. You can find the link in the show notes as well as below in the description in YouTube. But without further ado, the winner of Vision 11 is at Chidinmay_ on Instagram. Congratulations, girl.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you. We honor you. And we will be in touch to just show you how much we do honor you with that £100 GBP. I know somebody's getting a nice Christmas present and it might be you.
Best believe it.
It might be you. But sisters, not to worry. There is still one more month for you to claim that £100 GBP sterling.
Okay.
Sterling. If you want to start that New Year's right, I know you want that £100.
Come on, somebody.
And the last challenge of the year. I can't believe it's the last challenge of the year.
This year has flown by.
Insane.
Yeah.
The last challenge of the year in true vision style. When we started this vision challenge, we actually had a vision conference where we got the sisters to map out some of their plans, their goals for the year. For the last challenge, we want to see what's one goal that you had for yourself at the beginning of 2022 that you have managed to achieve. Yeah. Just one. You don't have to be showing us the ticks on your vision board, or if you're the kind of person where this year has gone left and you just got a couple things that you have managed to complete, that is absolutely fine. Just one goal that you had for yourself in January, in February, top end of this year that you have managed to complete. And we will show you how much we are proud of you by sending you over a little something.
we can't wait to celebrate you all. This year has
Honestly.
been full of a lot of roller coasters, so we get to share some sister joy over on our Instagram. So follow the stories, get inspired, cheer everybody on, and share your wins with us. We want to see your W's.
Show us. We are gathered here to celebrate your win.
Oh, actually, to say, speaking of that, I wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who put in under the last video that we did talking about the Shanquella Robinson case. Congratulations to the sister that had graduated.
Yeah.
So many of you were there congratulating her, and I hope whoever it was, I hope that you were listening and that filled you with some warmth in some way. But yeah, I just wanted to say shout out to y'all for making this sisterhood a place where we can actually celebrate people.
For sure. Absolutely love that. And actually, it's a brilliant segue to how we're opening up the dilemma segment today, because we actually had a response from a sister in the DMs who actually wanted to respond to another dilemma that we had recently.
Okay.
So I'm going to dig into it to help the sister.
Let's go.
Hey sisters.
Hey babe.
This is not a dilemma, but I hope you can connect me with someone who had a previous dilemma. I just paused the Have We Given Up on Love episode to write this email. The sister in the dilemma said she feels alone, and unfortunately, I know how that feels. I am in a similar situation, as I too am from Africa and currently study in a different country. I came late due to visa issues, so finding friends was a bit tough. People had already established friendships. COVID hit a few months after my arrival and I couldn't go home, so I had a good 12 months plus of isolation because everything was online and I didn't know that many people here. Most people flew back to their respective homes anyways. I know that this will not solve the sister's problem because she probably needs friends/acquaintances in the US and I am not there. However, I would love to talk to her. Hopefully talking to someone who understands what she is going through will offer her some comfort. I really hope that you can forward her this email. If she wants to talk, I'll be more than happy to. Love, a fellow sister who just wants to help a sister out.
It's too cute. It's too cute. Oh my days.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're gonna friendship match y'all. Y'all can talk on Zoom. Hopefully you like each other and stuff.
We're all about connected here. So I just saw that response and I was like, this is actually so beautiful.
Kind.
And honestly, we encourage you sisters that if you listen to a dilemma and it really does touch your heart, or if there's someone you feel like you could connect with or help out or support in any way, please feel free to reach out and we shall connect you with the sister in question. But I thought that it would be nice to bring some merriment and some joy, and also to the sister that actually wrote into us to let her know that, you know, you're not the only one that's going through this, and it's nice to have somebody that's a bit closer to your experiences to connect with. So hook us, we'll do some hooking up, sis.
That's lovely.
I know,
so lovely,
so lovely. But moving on into the actual ding
dilemma.
So I ain't gonna lie to you, we still got a little bit of boy trouble.
Okay,
but
it wouldn't be Christmas without it.
I'm screaming, not Merry Christmas. It's the madam yet again. But what's interesting is that it's actually not about the guy.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Go.
Hello, sisters.
Hey, lovely.
First off, let me say your podcast is absolutely amazing, and I love listening to your decadent voices every podcast.
Okay, yeah, that's the top one.
That's romantic.
Definitely the top one.
That is
decadent.
Oh God, I'm gonna go around telling everybody that we have decadent voices.
Rich.
It's wealthy.
It's giving hearty,
right?
Comforting,
multifaceted,
decadent.
Here is my dilemma. I am 22 years old and I think I found the love of my life.
Hey, wow. I love that.
Praise God.
Wow.
I can never know really until I've spent my life with my guy. He's caring, understanding, funny, and we have the best dynamic.
Love that.
I love him so much. The only thing is that I consistently get scared, not only that he will leave me, probably due to the abandonment issues I have from my dad leaving at 2 years old.
Oh, sorry.
But even more scary is that I'm scared I'll leave him / lose feelings for him. I am quickly bored and I really value spontaneity. But nearly 2 years together with my guy, I get scared that I won't be the reason we won't last. How do I make a relationship new and fresh for the rest of my life? Ooh. I do value our companionship, but sometimes I just miss the new, fresh feeling of a relationship. I would never cheat or date around, and the thought of losing him terrifies me. But I can feel the feelings of the grass being greener on the other side creeping in, even though I know it's not greener. Ugh. Anyway, thanks.
Oh, interesting. I like this. This is Layered. So the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, self-sabotage is trying to kick your ass. It's okay. A lot of us fall prey to it, but it's important for you to remember that do not overthink yourself into a place that you shouldn't be in and really and truly does not actually exist. Like what you were saying in terms of like, I'm scared he's going to leave me. You haven't seen any signs of that. So those thoughts, cast them to the side, just throw them away. And every time you feel those thoughts creep in, like you have to be intentional about, stop thinking like that, and reaffirm yourself, with the truth of what's actually happening, which is this guy loves me. I love him. I think he's the love of my life. He did this, he done that, all of that. I think the next thing is you have to accept that with relationships, that spark or that newness and the freshness and the excitement that you're seeking, you have to now generate it. So in the beginning, it felt like, oh, this is very organic. But now it has to be not manufactured in the fake sense, but you have to put effort into creating new moments. So go on new dates, explore new countries, explore new places, do different activities with each other, do things which not only remind you of why you fell in love with this person in the first place, but also shows you new dynamics of who they are and who they are constantly evolving into. Do activities that challenge both of you, that bring out your competitive sides, or, play new games which help you to find out more about them. I mean, you're only 22. I don't know how long you've been with this guy, but I would hate to think you've already exhausted getting to know him, and getting to find out more about his story and his personality. And there is so much time ahead of you. Like you said, you won't know until you spent the rest of your life with him. There is so much time ahead of you in which he's not always going to be this person that you know now. And that sometimes scares people because they think this person's going to turn into a negative version of themselves. But actually, this person is still glowing and growing. This person is still developing, still working on themselves, still learning new skills, still finding new chapters of their career and their life. And all of that brings new dynamics for you to handle with them and do life with them, and that's beautiful and that's exciting. I think there's something beautiful we said a couple episodes ago about, there is beauty in the mundane, and I think we have made it sound so negative and seem so negative that like, this same person forever, but there's so much beauty in security. There's this line in Bridgerton, as you guys know, it's probably one of my favorite films, my favorite shows. Don't be a hater.
There we go.
It's the way you
crowbarred that in there.
Yeah, because if I don't quote Bridgerton in December, what am I actually doing?
I mean,
so there's this line in Bridgerton when two people are getting married. I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it's truly magical. When two people are getting married and the priest is like, it's said that marriage, I know you two are not married, but get the essence. It's said that marriage has more so of safety than beauty, than the beauty of singleness, right? Something along those lines. And I thought it was really funny and really interesting and wise, because it feels like being with someone committed for the rest of your life doesn't feel as beautiful and as exciting and all of that, but it has more of safety in it. And I think going back to like that rejection issue with your father and those feelings of rejection that are very valid, it's important for you to realize that you do desire a safety from somebody, but there is a fear that's coming that's kind of attacking that desire and attacking the belief that you could have that. Does that make sense? And I think it's important for you to address the fear rather than push away the person, because that distance will be very hard to repair. Even if he stays with you, even if you stay intimate, and you stay with him, if that fear is constantly there, you're gonna constantly feel like there's a distance, or you're gonna constantly feel like there's a chance that you're gonna leave him. But I really want you to experience the beauty of the security that comes with being in a relationship with somebody you consider to be the love of your life. Like, you have found something that people have been pursuing for years and is often the ideal goal and ambition for a lot of people, and that's such a beautiful thing. Don't allow self-sabotage to rob that of you. That's what I would say. You already know the grass is not greener over on the other side. Stop imagining that there's even fences. Stop imagining that there's even somewhere else, or there's other things to peak, and start nourishing what you have in front of you, which is somebody who you can literally spend the rest of your life with, making new sparks, new memories and new moments. That's what I'd say. How about you?
Wow, that was so moving and beautiful.
Oh, me, I'll be poetic and stuff.
Magical, if you will. But no, I pretty much agree with everything that you said. I think you addressed it fantastically insofar as taking the different layers and addressing the self-sabotage, because I think for many of us, there is always, it's funny that if you don't deal with underlying traumas, they resurface in relationships. And oftentimes when we start our like healing journey and our healing process, we do this individually, not realizing that there's certain triggers that will only arise when you're in relationship with somebody else. So also don't be alarmed that this is a thing that you're dealing with. I think there's also that element of like, damn, this is something that occurred to me so long ago. Why am I still dealing with the ramifications of it? But I just want to acknowledge that it's actually very, very traumatic to have, you know, a primary caregiver leave you at such a formative time in your life. And that has such deep psychological effects. So don't be frightened at the fact that, you know, it's been a long time and this is still surfacing now. It's actually completely normal. Having said that, because it's normal doesn't necessarily mean it's good. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that you shouldn't address. And if it is tackling it both together but also individually, like he doesn't necessarily need to be responsible for your healing, but he can play a part in so much as being there for you and actually supporting you and understanding that, you know, when there are moments where, you know, your behavior or just the way that you act are kind of out of line as around the values of your relationship, at least he understands where you're coming from. And I think that's really important. And doing that in tandem with being very proactive around dealing with self-sabotage, understanding those tendencies, maybe thinking and considering therapy, having some kind of outlet as you deal with that. In terms of dealing with your relationship as well, that's also a normal thought. I think many people are afraid of admitting that they would get bored in a relationship. And I think it's unfortunate that we're not more transparent about that, because that's when it starts to lead to concealment and lack of trust, and then eventually, you know, in some cases, infidelity. And I think funnily enough, I think a lot of men would actually resonate with that point insofar as, you know, I was with this babe, but I need some kind of like stimulation that's outside of her. And I think I love your point insofar as like pointing out the difference between the safety of being with someone versus the beauty of like singleness. And I think that when you're in a relationship, it's a different muscle that you have to train. When you're dating or when you're single, I kind of liken it to, say, sprinting or like bursts of impact activity, high impact activity. You get that rush, it feels good, you've worked hard, all of that kind of stuff. When you enter into a long-term relationship, it's more about training for endurance as opposed to those kind of high impact moments. Because the thing about high impact moments and training for high impact activity is there's wear and tear on your joints. In terms of like your aerobic conditioning. Sorry to be that like person that's talking about like fitness and stuff, but it's very similar. There's wear and tear on your joints. It becomes really hard to sustain at a long period of time. And seeing your relationship as an opportunity for you to switch up your training and embracing that endurance. And as Courtney said, finding those moments or trying to manufacture those moments of newness, of excitement can actually be so beautiful in of itself, because now you have a catalogue of experiences with somebody that you really love. And that was something that featured even in the dilemma. You love this guy. He sounds like an excellent guy. You sound really happy. And we really want you to be in a space of, whilst acknowledging you have those fears, leaning into the fact that you're doing this journey with someone you actually care about and actually seems like a good guy for all intents and purposes. So I think sitting with that, you know, fear, that nervousness, understanding your shortcomings, but then actively working to preserve your relationship is super, super important. And actually enjoying it, like really enjoying the process of getting to know this person every day. Like set yourself the challenge of, what is something new that I can learn about this person every like day, every week, every month. And I love the fact that you acknowledge that people change and we see it as a scary thing, but actually it should also be a beautiful thing. Understanding that there's that opportunity to mature with someone you really, really love. And I think if we can be a bit more optimistic about love, optimistic about our relationships, and go in with that approach, I think there's something beautiful there, and there's the opportunity to build something that will stand the test of time. So that's what I would say. But then I'd also round off by saying, sisters, if you are older, if you're in a long-term relationship, if you have been married, or you've just been in a relationship for a really long time, comment below.
Yes.
Our young sister here is only 22, and we'd love to hear from the sisters, the vets out there. We know that there's a couple sisters that have been around for a while, around the block. They understand, you know, what we're talking about here. But in terms of sustaining a long-term relationship, it would be great if some sisters would chime in the comments below. Share some of the beautiful moments that you've shared with your spouse, any kind of tips you can give the sister insofar as sustaining that relationship, as well as any sisters that have dealt with this kind of trauma around having people leave and having anxiety around that. It would be great to kind of crowdfund all of those thoughts as well. So please share your thoughts below in the comments.
Amazing.
But sister, we hope that helped your dilemma, answered your dilemma. We hope that you're a bit more optimistic when it comes to your relationship. And of course, we hope that everything that we have said here will be supplemented by the wonderful sisters of this community.
Yes.
But moving into the girls chat, the talk. So the first thing that I actually wanted to like touch base on is, before we actually dive into some of the topics that we're going to cover in this girls chat, how are you, Courtney?
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm very tired.
It's the last month of the year.
Yeah, but it's been a great year. Like, I'm not tired because like anything dramatic is happening.
Yeah.
Bigger picture. Right. I am so happy with my life right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like not me getting deep and emotional.
Oh, girl.
Stop it. I've been around too many of my friends have made me soft. I think being somebody who's like struggled with a lot of like anxiety, depression, and like just the ups and downs of life, I made a really big choice last year, as probably everybody knows by now, like to leave my business and just to do me and to really invest in myself and actually invest in being happy and like pursuing a lot of my childhood dreams and a lot of the visions and creative ideas that God gave me. And TMS being one of them. I wouldn't even say writing a book was something I knew I was going to do somewhere in my lifetime. But I don't think it was something I thought of imminently, but it's something I always wanted to do, but especially traveling the world. And so doing that this year, like I'm doing Vlogmas on my channel. All girls, sisters, please, I beg of you. The amount of editing I've done, which is why I'm tired. I've done so much editing over the last 72 hours, just trying to keep up with posting one vlog every single day, that I'm drained. Like I do feel tired, but you know what? I'm going to keep going because I'm editing a lot of my travel content, which I didn't put out as it was happening. And literally I was sitting there editing yesterday and I was like, I think 10-year-old me would think I was so cool.
Wow.
Like so cool. Like beautiful. I did it. Like I did so not obviously not everything I could do, but like to be 25, to be out here, like I've traveled or I've started traveling, like written a book, I'm in my dream career, like I'm living in a nice home. As much as nothing is perfect, everything is good. And like I can just see the goodness of God over everything, like even the confusing parts. And I'm like, I am so happy. I have never felt this way before. So yeah, that's how I am. I'm actually really good, but I'm tired.
Yo guys, I must say, before we talk about me, what has been killing me is, so in our apartment there's like a little chair that's right in front of our television right now, and it kills me because I will come outside, Courtney is there, I will leave, Courtney is there, I will go to sleep, Courtney is there.
Not because I'm watching TV, because my laptop broke. You see, there are things that happen and you just have to question what's going on. My laptop broke the day before Vlogmas started.
So unfortunate.
And so I'm using the TV as a monitor, which is why I have an armchair in front of our TV, which is behind the camera right now.
It's giving, you know, like when your dad or like your uncles are just sitting in the chair when you come back from somewhere, and I was just like, damn, you really in this, So that is a very, very big opportunity to say, go to Courtney's channel right now, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out her vlogs. She is a phenomenal editor. I have made it my mission to tell Courtney, because she doesn't believe me, but I've made it my mission to get everyone I know to actually watch her videos and then comment that she's a great editor, because that is exactly what she is. But yeah, that I say that to say, I think the level, at least like watching you and watching your own growth, I think what's been really cool about your journey is your authenticity to like,
Renee,
even the confusing parts. No, because I remember the top end of you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is the right chorus for me. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And just to see you thrive doing something, even though it's hard, actually doing something that you love versus like last year, really thinking about like your business and what you wanted to achieve from like leaving that. As much as it's been hard, I've never seen you feel this free, which has been beautiful. And I've also never seen you be this consistent. And I think that's been shocking. That's been good, man. That's been nice to see. It's just like, damn, I know Courtney's gonna be in that armchair. I know it, which is beautiful. So I'm very proud of your progress.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
But yeah, as for me, I'm also feeling pretty good. Like I'm content. I think similarly, I had this like picture in my head of like what a good life for me is supposed to look like. And it's meant to be, and we've spoke about this insofar as sometimes the pinnacle of our success is like living the dream from working the corporate lifestyle and doing that kind of stuff. And what is really interesting is that everything about my career is like the opposite of that right now, which is unbelievable. Like I would say at the beginning of this year, even before that, I would hesitate to call myself a creator. I'll be like, content creator. I don't do that. I just create content, but I'm not a content creator. But everything in this year has showed me that actually I am a content creator.
For real.
It's okay. It's all right. Like you do this podcast thing, and then especially with like the LinkedIn program. So there's a program, Creator Accelerator program that I got picked to be a part of at LinkedIn, which was amazing. And actually being able to like have those professional connections, meet some really cool people, create content I'm passionate about as it pertains to like women, gender equity, community building has been dope. Going to LinkedIn HQ, like
come on,
it was just cool. It was just, and I love that I'm now getting into a space of I can actually work and do the things I love, and that work doesn't have to be apart from the things that I love doing, which is nice. Writing a book as well, same. I didn't think that was something that would come like this soon. Crazy. But I'm happy that it did, because every time I look at that book, it's literally propped up in my room. I just look at it, I'm like, damn, we wrote a book.
Man, oh man.
And it's a good book, if I do say so myself. It's a really good book. Like I was reading it. You know when you've written something and you have some distance and then you read it. I read it and I was like, this is actually a really good book. I'm really happy with this. We did that.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, like, being proud of what you've produced, it just brings a completely different feeling. Like, I think a lot of us frame goals and vision setting as like, just, it's something you won't achieve. Like, it's so hard to achieve and actualize. And it's like, once you actually get to the other side of it, obviously with us, it's been through the help of you guys. Like, I think building a community and having people who are cheering you on, keeping you accountable and pushing you to be your best. And then you actualize the goal, it's like, yo, is this euphoria? Like, this is a great feeling. Yeah.
It's actually so beautiful. And then I think another area that I'm like super content with is my relationships. Like I'm really happy with the people that I have around me. And I can say I've definitely tried to be as intentional as possible in like cultivating my circle, but not in the way of like, I want to make sure that there's power around me, all of that kind of stuff. But actually, as a human being, like some of the people that have poured into me and I've poured into this year, honestly, our like relationships have like reached new heights. And I love that because it just makes everything that I'm doing feel more meaningful and purposeful, because I actually have people that I can share it with. And even like the smaller moments of, I remember post like live show and all the craziness around that, actually being able to hang out with my like friends and family and just being normal Renee. I was just like, I love this and I love having this and I want to continue having this. So I've really loved that. I'm really happy about that. And like, I think the last thing that I'm really like, in terms of check-in is my confidence levels around like adulting. I don't have everything figured out. There's things that bemuse me still that I'm still like highly concerned about, but I think I've been doing okay so far.
You've been doing a great job.
I've been trying.
Great job.
I'm still around. Still got a roof over my head. Still alive. Do you know what I mean? I'm really happy with like character progression and just adulting, because adulting is hard, bro. Like adulting is so hard. I think if there's one thing that I really feel, at least that like God has checked me on constantly, especially this year, is just like character and being a nicer person and a good person and someone that's like a person of a person that leans on their personal values, a person that actually leans on their personal values.
Right.
So yeah,
That
I'm
is
content.
so lovely.
I'm content. I hate being in the cold though. I ain't gonna lie to you, Courtney. This whole traveling situation. So obviously, like, we've been traveling. Courtney definitely more so than me. But coming back from Jamaica, I have been unsettled since. I don't
go outside. I don't care. I just go outside for the things I need to do, and then I stay inside
because it's cold. It's cold.
It's, you know what? London cold is like, you can hack it for things that it's like, oh, it should be cold. Like, I'm cuddling up at home and watching a film. I've made myself a hot chocolate. It's cold outside. It's scenic. It's romantic. You know, or like, we're going to Winter Wonderland. It should be cold. Do you know what I mean? But the practicalities of like, why am I outside going to the gym and it's cold?
Do you know what I mean?
I don't want that.
I'm going to to buy my groceries. I'm being beaten by the wind. Like, I have to brace myself.
That's why I don't go outside.
It's too much. It's too much.
I'm hibernating till I can fly out after my godson is born.
Glory. That's so exciting. My kids are just family.
I think that's also what's added to like my merriment. I'm not a Christmas person at all, but like, just knowing that like there's gonna be like a new baby, and I get to just be there and see them
real
grow.
Hands-on, you know.
Like it's made me excited, and I think just having people in your life, it's just been nice. Like anyway, let me not share too much, because
so
next thing you know, you're crying and people are calling you soft.
Can you imagine?
They can fight you.
Absolutely. Oh, don't kill me. they'll get all sorts of ideas in their head. But hey ho, the first thing I wanted to clock in with the girl chat stuff is embarrassment and the shy girl.
Oh my gosh.
And I wanted to talk about this because it always makes me laugh when I see on like TikTok and all this kind of stuff, which is like, you know, amended for the shy girls, or like, oh, embarrassing. Oh, and how do you overcome, you know, like those
embarrassing.
Growing up, we have a whole myriad of embarrassing moments to hearken on. And I wanted to actually start this chat with, what's a memory of an embarrassing moment that you have had that has really stayed with you?
I don't know if I've erased all of them from my memory or what, but nothing is coming to mind. I get over embarrassment quite quickly.
Fairs.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I went to shake somebody's hand, and I really thought they were coming to shake my hand, but they were really trying to shake the hand of the person next to me, and I was like, proper like, why are they moving in the wrong direction? Like, I'm trying to, and then he's not even giving me eye contact, and then he shakes the hand of the person sitting next to me. I'm like, did that just happen?
Stop it.
What?
Oh no.
But afterwards, I was just like, easy mistake to make. Like, I think I've never really been I think if I allowed myself to get embarrassed, I would really overthink a whole lot more. So I have to just nip it in the bud. Just be like, move on. How about you?
First, oh man, I've just had way too many embarrassing moments to count. It's embarrassing how many embarrassing moments. But I think what has also helped me recently is I'm just deciding not to be embarrassed about this. I'm deciding not to be awkward about this. This happens to everybody. I will laugh at myself. Like, who's gonna check me? One memory that has stayed with me forever is when I was running for the bus to go to, so you know, like sixth form. Do you remember the like 102? And then when you get off at like what do you call it? The roundabout, you have to like take the curve to get the bus. So I see the 102 is coming. I'm just getting off of the connecting bus, the 231. It's icy. It's snowy. Icy. And I wasn't a gym babe back then. So like, I'm not a cute runner. I don't look like somebody that runs. And I've got like my bags and everything. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to run for this bus. But it was the kind of snow and ice where it was like the slippy, slidey kind of. Fam, can you imagine? I ran for this bus. I ran for this bus and then I slipped. But you know, when it almost looked like somebody pulled the rug out from under you, right? I slipped. But then because the rest of the floor was like icy, I slid. So I slipped, but I didn't stop. I slipped. Oh
no, and you kept going.
I kept going. And then you know when you're actually so like shocked that this happened to you, I stayed there on the floor thinking that, oh, the bus is just gonna go by. People have seen it, but it's like they're not gonna see my face because I haven't stood up. The bus terminated.
Oh, and everyone's just getting off the bus. Oh,
yeah, that stayed with me for a while because
that's really sad. But what could you do? Like, I'm not gonna lie, watching people fall, I know slipping on slow can be so dangerous. That's how my mum broke her leg, but it's so funny.
It's so funny.
Like, I think, don't worry, they won't remember. Maybe they will, but
maybe there's someone listening to this podcast like, oh, so it was you.
But look at who you are now.
Hello,
know?
There you go. And there you go. There you have it, folks.
Oh,
there
the amount of times I've slipped and fallen, though,
it's
it cannot even be numbered.
But it's the way that it looks. The person is always shocked that they fall.
Yeah.
When they're trying to catch
everyone
things.
is taken off guard.
Fam. And it's like, they're going too quickly for you to help and intercept. And it's actually just a mess. There's no like beautiful metaphor or like some kind of like fancy philosophical thing that you felt, and that's it. So that's a moment that I can remember. I think another moment, I'm not really embarrassed about this, but when I broke our chair.
Oh yeah, that was funny though. That wasn't embarrassing.
That wasn't embarrassing. That was just like, what the, okay.
I think people get embarrassed because they're like, oh, people are gonna judge me or they're gonna think XYZ about me, and it's like, nah, things happen to people.
Things actually
people
happen.
make mistakes, and if you knew how many mistakes that other person has made, if we all just go around cancelling out everybody's embarrassment with our own, we would have so much more grace.
As in,
so much more grace. There's no need to be embarrassed, sis. Brush yourself off and try again.
So that's exactly what the next question for me was going to be, insofar as how do we get over feeling embarrassed about awkward moments? How do we like just overcome that feeling of people are looking at me, like I don't really want to go for something because I feel like it would be embarrassing.
Right. If you don't go for it, you're not going to get it, and you're not going to have anybody to blame but you. Like, that's literally the only thing that gets me moving forward. One, people don't care as much as you think.
Right.
Two, the only person you're going to have to blame if you don't go for what it is you want because you're holding yourself back because you think other people will care, the only person you have to blame is you. Like, you can't blame them because they haven't actually done anything yet. And so personally, I think that desire to just have the life that you want or get the things that you want needs to override what other people will think or what you'll even think about yourself. Like, I did something the other day. I was talking about, I forgot that I even did this until I was editing a vlog, and I was like, I complimented a guy. I told him he was really handsome. And I was like, I felt so out of my comfort zone, blah, blah, blah. This man's dead ass looked like Moses from the Prince of Egypt. Really? He was so fine. Obviously, that's a cartoon, but he was like the real life version. And I was like, I'm going to tell this man he's handsome. And then I was like, that wasn't even as bad as I thought it was going to be. But the reason why I thought I'd be embarrassed, or I felt like awkward or embarrassed, I was like, oh my gosh, what would other people think? It's like, what other people? There's no one here. Like, I think a lot of us are gatekeeping just with voices in our head or like assumptions about society and things that we have been told people will think about us and other people. It's like the them that DJ Khaled is always talking about. It's like, who are these people you speak of?
There's unidentified conglomerates.
But then there are the people who are like, oh, but my family will judge me or my friends will judge me or stuff like that. And I personally think that life is way too short. Right. Life is way too short. And also the feeling of embarrassment only lasts as long as you allow it to last. Like, it's not a permanent feeling. Do you get what I mean? It's not like grief where it's like, no one knows when this is going to end. But like embarrassment is simply, I'm over it. Yeah. And even if the feeling of embarrassment sometimes arises, like you reflecting on that story, like you can giggle about it, but I'm sure there's that feeling of like, damn, I can't believe that happened. But then it's like, you just move on because it's humorous and you kind of just make it into a story or a learning point, or, you know, you kind of just realize, actually, I bossed it. Like, I did a great job. I'm glad I did that. Even though it was uncomfortable and maybe embarrassing to the other people around me. So I think we give too much power to this idea of embarrassment, right? Where it's like, no one wants to feel it, but also embarrassment, what's at the root of it? Do you feel ashamed? Do you feel angry at yourself? Do you feel as though, you know, there is no coming back from that? I think getting to the root of the feeling as well helps you to tackle it, because it's like, embarrassment, I think, is just a packaging for a deeper feeling. Yeah. How about you?
I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, I pretty much agree. I think we sometimes give too much power to the feeling, but also too much power to people that probably don't care as much as we do. They genuinely don't, because even when I think of like being somebody that reflects on things that other people have done that they may have thought is embarrassing, or like seeing someone slip and fall, is kind of like, oh damn, that was funny, but you know, I'm not thinking that, and I'm not thinking about that for more than like 2 seconds. So having that same outlook for yourself, like when an embarrassing moment occurs, it's like, you are not the main character in somebody else's thoughts. And I know that sometimes it's context dependent, right? So you don't want to be embarrassed in front of your crush, or you don't want to be embarrassed in front of your friends and stuff like that. But equally, life is going to be full of embarrassing and awkward moments. Like, people are actually awkward if you think about it.
We are.
Like, we just do random stuff. We do weird stuff. And I think it's important to give people the grace to also do those kind of things without, you know, judging them, but also feeling judged. And I think that it's just a terrible way to live your life, constantly afraid of how people will view you for doing a particular thing, especially if it's not something that you do like often. Like, unless you are bumbling or you have like hand-eye coordination problems, which I actually have hand-eye coordination problems, I'm convinced, where like you can't walk in a straight line, or like, you know, you fall often, then it's like, how many times are you going to fall really for people to actually look at you and be like, oh, that was embarrassing? Do you know what I mean? I think there's definitely that element of giving yourself grace to know that, okay, this happened, but it's not my life story. And it's actually fine. And it's actually quite funny. I think, you know what? It actually helps you become somebody that's actually funnier, because at least you can laugh at yourself, and you can tell stories about yourself and be like, yo, this happened to me and it was pretty funny. And it empowers you so that you own that narrative, as opposed to, you know, having somebody else have that power over you to tell your story. It's like, that happened to me. I slipped and fell. Or, you know, I did my makeup in the dark and I came out in the light and it was not cute. Or, that one is a bad one, isn't it? It's a serious one. A lot of us, do you know what? Back in the day when all of us were doing sleek foundation,
I never did that. My face was always beat. Not gonna lie.
Well, for the rest of us, that were not, you know, beauty and beauty with the accent apostrophe on the E at the end. For the rest
Me
of
and
us,
all my girls.
You know what I'm saying? For the rest of us that we're not in the culture of the beat face, and we're just
Thank
trying.
God for YouTube University.
Honestly,
and
and
Jenny
truly,
Jenkins.
honestly, Jenny.
Beauty by JJ.
Beauty by she taught us how to like lay our hair, our face. Look, the YouTube OGs.
Shout out to you guys.
You guys were doing it.
I was never caught lacking.
But yes, you know, for the majority of us that were actually caught lacking.
Not me being unrelatable.
Never mind. For the rest of us that were out here, you know, wearing fledged groovy chick jeans back in the day, or
I was on that,
little glasses and whatnot, thinking that we were cute and stuff. Hey ho, I think it's actually a part of life to actually 100%. Feel like embarrassment in like doses, but allowing that to become or graduate into something like shame is where we draw the line. It's like, it's okay to actually feel embarrassed for a moment, but I think when it graduates into shame, or like the feeling almost paralyzes you, right? When it's like, oh damn, like I've completely changed the way that people view me and stuff like that. It's so liberating to actually just not care. It's actually so liberating. There's times where it's like, sometimes I'll be walking and you know when you buckle a little, it's like, oh damn, that was embarrassing, but I just laugh at myself because but I guess I've had a long day,
100%. Those are the more like, I guess, trivial examples. But I'm thinking, what if somebody's feeling embarrassment because somebody has embarrassed them? Right. I think that's a kind of a higher hurdle to overcome, because it's like there's a betrayal of trust there. You've become the butt of the joke. You feel this small. With that, I would say try and get you some new friends if you can, or at least address the situation. Like, just be like, when you said that, when you did that, I didn't really feel for that. It made me feel like this, and don't do that again. Thank you.
You know what's actually funny about that example? I was listening to The Basement with Tim Ross. If you haven't listened to that podcast,
I've been putting all my friends on, guys. The Basement is my favorite podcast.
If any of you guys, look, to be honest, Courtney's really been putting me onto a lot of great podcasts. The Love Hour, Kev on Stage, Melissa. We're actually in love with you guys. Oh, here's the thing. Actually in love with you guys.
If you are listening to this, I need a mentor, and I would love it.
If anyone listening to this, especially in the United States, has links, please.
Somebody.
Because that crossover special ep would be excellent. But also, Tim Ross, hi.
Hello, sir. I'm also looking for a spiritual mentor.
Hello.
If you'd like to mentor me.
We got open it. But I was listening to The Basement by Tim Ross, and he was talking about how there was a time where his mother had embarrassed him in front of his friends. And he was like maybe 15, 16. Wow. And he was mature enough to kind of see what, obviously she wasn't trying to embarrass him, but he was mature enough to approach her and be like, Mom, you know, I love you. But you know, when you did this is how it made me feel towards my friends. Right. I think it's really important to also caveat when you're embarrassed by someone that loves you or you love, because it makes it a bit more difficult, and it's not always the whole whole I don't want to be friends with you or like I don't want to be around you. It's actually I have to be around you because we are bonded by like blood or like we have a deep relationship. And I think it's really important to ensure that you have the language and the understanding to share those feelings with that person in a way that's actually conducive to keeping that relationship, but is also still aligned and true to your emotions. And I think what I love about like podcasts in general is it feels like it gives you language and tools and opportunities to really articulate how you're thinking and how you're feeling in a way that's not destructive. Because sometimes we just kind of give into that emotion and just say all sorts of things. But it's like when you're listening and you hear from other people, actually, this is something that other people have, experienced. And this is the way that they dealt with it. And for me, that was just a great example of how to check somebody, especially somebody that's like, in a position of power, like your parents, in a way that's actually loving, respectful, but then gets across how you're feeling and how you're processing that in the moment.
So necessary.
If you are dealing with embarrassment from people that you actually love and it's kind of awkward, it may be worth having the conversation around like delivery and like understanding why they think it's appropriate to do that, and trying to be a lot more gentle in the way that you check people, the way that you express yourself. Because I really do think even in like dealing with that, but more broadly, I feel like we've lost a sense of gentleness as a sock society. I feel like the older I get, I wouldn't say I get more sensitive, but I feel like I'm getting more gentle and more like I appreciate gentleness a lot more because the world is so harsh and mean that it's like when someone actually comes to you with gentleness, it's like, oh, you care about me, which is why you're telling me this.
Exactly. That's good.
But yeah, I really wanted to talk about the embarrassment and shyness thing because I know that's something that a lot of sisters deal with. And I think speaking to the sisters that are dealing with shyness, it would be good to hear some of your thoughts around how do you, first of all, is shyness do you think shyness is something that people can actually overcome? And if so, how can they go about doing that?
I do think so. I think shyness is something which a lot of people feel, but it can easily be masquerade or like, that whole fake it till you make it kind of thing. I think a lot of people use that as a tactic to overcome their shyness. I think you can do the whole fake it till you make it, or you just take small steps to start getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and seeing that like you being your full self, you doing, things that you've always dreamt of doesn't come with bad consequences. Actually, oftentimes the outcome is good, and I think the more we associate taking risks with good outcomes, we can overcome our shyness as well. But also, you don't need to become, there is no ideal personality, right? Being a shy person isn't necessarily a negative thing unless it is holding you back from truly living how you want to live, right? Or it's stopping you from enjoying relationships and, excelling in your career or having everything that you want out of life. I think that's when it becomes a problem. But I think you can find friends and environments which allow you to just be your truest self. If you're not that much of a talker, but you're not necessarily like shy, you just don't like big crowds and stuff, because even if you faked it till you make it, you wouldn't enjoy it, then don't force yourself to. Find yourself in environments which allow you to just be your fullest self. I think that shyness is just a problem when it's holding you back from something. I think if your personality is very introverted and you're like, I don't really like to be loud, and you don't actually see a problem with it, then it's not a problem, But if you were a shy girl and it's like, I'm not in the relationship I want, I'm not in the job I want, I'm not in the career I want, I'm not getting the grades I need because I'm so quiet, stuff like that, you need to start pushing your legs out a bit and just taking those small steps to navigate through life with a bit more confidence. I think it can sometimes be a confidence issue. And I think increasing that confidence through putting yourself in situations where you can just show up, and you, in the smallest ways, it could just be, ordering something for yourself, going out on a solo date by yourself, or, saying to a friend, I really want to do this, would you do it with me? And just easing yourself into it. I think you'll just develop that trust for yourself as well, and the knowledge that I can show up for myself when I need to. But it takes time. It does take time. How about you? I don't really have much to say about it because I've never really experienced it. And the girls around me ain't shy, unfortunately. Which is why we need so many new perspectives on the podcast.
Honestly and truly.
You wait for season 4.
Oh. And that's on per. Period.
Period. I can't believe so many our friends came over on Sunday, and I can't believe so many of them didn't know. So many of you guys didn't know the period girl.
Right.
She was the highlight of my year till we found out she was racist.
Right.
That girl said, "I am period R, you are period." And you get it. Some of us are period R. Some of us are not glowing or growing. We're period.
Some of us are racist.
That's her.
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I agree. I think that for me, it's really about understanding where the shyness is rooted in. And as you were saying, like, how much does it affect your life? So are you introverted or are you shy? And I think many of us will think that we're introverted when really actually we are kind of shy. And I think the confidence thing as well, because I know that like growing up, a big reason as to why I was initially shy was because I had really low self-esteem and really like poor confidence. And it made me really uncomfortable to want to, I would find myself desiring to do things, but feeling uncomfortable to do it because I'm kind of thinking like, what will people think? Or like, I feel kind of ashamed or like, oh, I shouldn't be the one doing that. And it's as I've gotten older and realized that, you know, people don't really care about you as much as you think they do, insofar as like they don't think about you in that way as much as you think. You're not on people's minds like that. If you are on people's minds like that, they're probably not really good people. And you don't really want to be around good people anyway. So if anything, it's them identifying themselves as y'all need some work.
That's actually something I was thinking. Like sometimes you're not shy. You just need to find your people.
Right.
Like you need to find yourself around people who you feel safe enough around to be yourself.
Exactly.
And I think shyness can be an indicator that you haven't found that yet. So keep shopping around, because when you meet your people,
100%,
your fullest self, it's like
100%.
Jack in a box. It just bursts out. Like
100%.
You're laughing loud, you're doing all of this, but it's when you find friends that make you feel safe. And that can sometimes take time, but you'll find it.
You will find it. And when you do, it's actually a beautiful thing. And it's so freeing. And it was literally when I started finding people that genuinely made me feel comfortable. I felt like I could be my full self. I could send them the copious amounts of memes that I had, you know, amassed over the many years. That's a big indicator as to, I can be my full self here. So it might actually be an indicator that the people around you are not conducive to you being your full self. And it's not necessarily you being shy, but you not feeling, comfortable enough to be yourself. And that's okay, you know, like it's not with everybody that you can be fully transparent with. I think even sometimes when we think about like transparency as a value, it doesn't mean that you can be transparent with everybody.
100%.
It's very much around how are you going to utilize your transparency in a positive way. And it's unfortunate, but the harsh reality is that sometimes transparency can be weaponized against you. People won't get your humor. People don't understand your story. And if you are shown indicators of that, then it's okay to leave in favor of a space or, you know, a place with people that would be helpful to what you want your transparency to actually achieve.
And appreciate you.
And like, appreciate you, man.
The girls out here saying, go where you're celebrated. That hit me hard.
Honestly and truly. And I don't know about you, but I like laughing. I like funny things. I like being around people that make me laugh. And I like actually making people laugh. Like, I think I'm hilarious, but not funny. Everybody. Thank you. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. But I like being around people that I'm actually like motivated to make laugh. You know, there's some people where it's just like, man, I can't be funny around you.
I hear it.
I can't send you a TikTok. I can't do this with you.
Nah, for me, you're gonna get it from me regardless.
I'm screaming. She's like, well, anyone could get TikTok.
Anyone.
Whether you laugh. No, but you know, there's some people you'll send like memes and TikToks, and they don't have
anyone in my life like that. All my friends are clowns.
They miss it. Oh, Fairs.
All of my it's actually quite bad.
Fairs.
But
it's good.
No, we are unserious people. We are actually unserious.
No, that's bad.
But we love it. I love it because similarly, like I enjoy laughing. Like I did say I wanted like my 25th year to just be full of good memories and laughter, and I've been kikiing all the way.
Kikiing. I love when I find like TikToks that are curated to people. Like you see a TikTok that's hilarious and it makes you think of an interaction. Specific person. That's like my love language. Or like when I see a meme and I'm like, oh, that's you. That's you. Or like, oh, this is me, but only you would get that about me. So I do think in terms of like for the shyness, the babes dealing with shyness, like start pushing out the boat a little bit here and there, being a bit more comfortable with taking up space. It's actually okay to take up space and be more demanding from people and demand more from your environment, and that's actually okay and normal. And you'll find that life is a lot more interesting, colorful and fun when you start demanding more from life, because life is already demanding so much from you. You gotta stand
put
up,
some demands, put
sit
some
up,
expectations,
and put some expectations from life.
100%.
And then if it's that your shyness is as a result of like low self-esteem or confidence issues, at least you've now identified, okay, cool, I don't feel comfortable in myself right now. These are some of the things that I can be doing to increase my self-esteem. Think about ways that I can make myself feel more confident in my skin, in myself, and start practicing actually being a confident person. And then if your shyness is born out of your environment and the people that you're around, maybe this is the time for you to tap into other communities, other people, other individuals, cough to my sisters, to find your tribe. Because like, even thinking about squad, like we have the kind of squad where obviously everybody is like busy and stuff like that, but when it matters and when it's important, people show up. And we recently had like a girls like chill, everyone come over, let's talk. We had no like, this wasn't the whole, you know, let's come and talk about our feelings or anything like that.
This was pure jokes.
Pure come, let's chat, eat, like dance, all that kind of stuff. And it made me feel so happy because it was like, damn, I actually really love you guys. You're actually really funny. We're all funny. We're all clowns. We've been doing this for more than 10 years now. And it's like, it's nice to have that community of people around you.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Moving into the more unserious sides of the girls chat. Icks. Touching on Icks real quick. I just thought it would be funny to...
I've been loving it. I've been loving seeing the TikToks of people being like, these are my Icks. These are my TikTok Icks. These are my girls Icks. This is my boy Icks. And I'm like,
what is an ick?
Just something, an ick. Like, nah, the ick is very indescribable, but we've all felt it, where it's just like something just switched off. Like, just it's just cringe. It's something that just makes you want to like, get this off my screen, get this away from me. Like, this is to disgust. Ew. Yeah, it's just very like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's unexplainable.
I think what kills me about Icks is it's so like innocuous and so like, I didn't think about this to be an ick, but now that you've said it, that's
it's
what
an
that
ick.
is.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Facts.
What's an ick? Like a really random ick that you've had in any context that is like a serious thing for you?
I don't know. It depends on the person sometimes. No, it depends on the person, because everyone sometimes is sliding on different layers of ice. Like you can be one, like, I don't know, one cough or something away from just, that's an ick. Stop it. Something like that. Like, it's just very like, I don't know why, but that specific thing. But I think I've said this before on the podcast. Mines are like, if I can hear you eating, if I hear you like spit, like if I see you spit or hear you spit, if I like see like, like mine is plaque around, like I can't, I'm a teeth person, right? If I see plaque, something's got to change. Something's got to change. No, something's got to change. But a behavioral ick is like, I don't know, somebody who's just slow. Like, you're just a bit like, I think as well because I like banter, right? But my banter is like wit, like it's very situational, timely. And so mine is like, did you pick up on I make a joke and you're like, huh, what? And I'm like, baby, you got 2 more chances. If I do this and you don't do well, it's over. That has happened to me before, and it's just hard to have humor with someone like that. But I think my icks are very situational. Like, I'm not somebody who like has that as funny as I find it, I just don't have that extensive list where it's like, this is everything you cannot do around me. Right. Do you get what I mean? But what about you?
Right. Oh, girl. You know, there's some icks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the one that I've said before is, I can't, if you're getting out of the car and I see bum crack, or if you're bending over and I see bum crack,
And the thing is that this is what I mean by like icks are so timely, because if it's like your partner, that can be funny, but if it's someone you're dating, that is disgusting. Like, delete my
If it's
number.
No, don't kill me. Because if it's your partner, it's like, oh babe, you know, put it up a little bit.
Yeah. No,
And
but
also-
like it's funny. That's disgusting.
No, but I remember someone when this was all on Twitter and stuff. Someone was like, "Oh, my dentist, like I've seen."
Oh no.
Can you imagine somebody who's like out here doing your teeth and like you're already like here paralyzed that you can't move?
Oh, that's disgusting.
To the other side, and now you're seeing bum
I
crack.
don't like
and you
it.
can't-
I don't like it. That's awful.
Oh, that killed me. That really killed me. So
Oh no.
no bum crack. And it's not even like bum. It's actually just, why am I seeing?
It's just that little top peekaboo with the hair, like, oh,
no. Bum
You
crack
don't
is a
want
big
it.
one for me. It's a no.
no.
What else is an ick for me? I think the slow thing as well, but not necessarily slow, but more so if you have no sense of humor, like actually none, like you don't laugh at anything. Like I send you memes or like there's jokes that I make and you're just, there's nothing there. Or like you don't make jokes or you don't find things funny. Like overly serious. I think that's icky.
Yeah. That is funny. Oh, mine are. Ooh, this is gonna sound crazy. I don't like. Let me not. A big ick for me is men who take selfie videos. Like to just.
We've had this discussion. I remember.
I just look at it and I think.
I remember.
One interesting use of your phone.
Yeah, don't kill me. I think.
But obviously, everyone be free.
Yeah, be free. Do your thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's because there's guys that will take like selfie videos and they look kind of like uncles when they're doing it. And it's like.
Yeah, like it's very
I mean?
like, why are you doing this?
It's
like.
But what if they're trying to be cute?
But it's not. It's very rarely, should I say.
Yeah.
Like, do something.
Yeah,
do some talks. I don't know. The whole like, just
and it's always bottom third.
Yeah,
it's either bottom third or
really.
really
I'm not really feeling that.
It's a no from me, dog. It's just no. Another one for me is like, to be honest, this is both men and women. But you know when folks are running, just like everything is just.
No, I don't judge. I can't judge. I don't. You know what? I've been trying my best to stop judging people so much, but like. You just don't know. No, you have to make a story in your head.
Yeah. People be going through it, but I'm just like, you know what? Because someone pointed it out on Twitter, and I was like, "There's very few people that run in an attractive way. I don't think unless you're an athlete and it's like you got the focus and stuff, or like you're a runner or whatnot. When normal people are in like compelled to run, I'm like, nah, there's just too much. There's too much going on here. Like,
I hear
it's
it.
Just
I
everything
hear
is
it.
flying.
Yeah, I hear
There was
it.
one that I saw again on socials that killed me. That was like men that use umbrellas.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Yeah, like there are some icks where I'm like, guys, come on. Like not every guy is a movie actor and not every girl is like this perfect put together person. But at the same time, everybody has their preference. Everyone has their icks. But I do find them hilarious. Like I find them so funny. Like if you ever want to pick me up, go on TikTok and just search icks and it's funny.
The finger, like the long pinky nail.
Yeah.
Or the long like toenails.
Yeah.
That's not even an ick. That's a
just no
cause for concern.
Hygiene issue.
That is a cause for concern.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Or like this is an ick, but it annoys me that it's an ick because this is something we've been frequently been victims of. But like holes in socks.
Yeah, I hear it. Or like just raggedy clothes in general. Like I don't like that. I don't.
Because why is there? And you know what? It will be like around the pinky area. If there's a hole in your sock, I'm like,
mine is the big toe.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is
like
the pinky.
If I see the big toe, I'm like, you can do better. I know you can.
My good.
There's more in you.
No, I'm screaming. She said, I want
but I've
more
rarely seen that in guys though.
First.
Yeah, I've really seen that. The men have been keeping well behaved. I like that.
They've been
yeah.
I mean,
what?
That's not what the TL streets are saying, girl.
Anyway, my biggest lesson this year is online is fake. The online world is not real. I
Right.
just
Right.
I want to be more plugged into the real world, because if you get so caught up in like what you're seeing online and what people are saying, you become so untethered from reality, and like your expectations become messed up, and then you also get like, I don't know, you already have a disappointing feeling towards a feeling of disappointment, sorry, towards the world, when it's like, actually, there's some joy in the world. You can just put your phone down a bit. Not everyone's bad. Not everyone's crazy.
No, but I do love a good.
Everyone has holes in their socks.
There we go. And you know what? We say this with like humor, just as a caveat. We know that there's extenuating circumstances and people are going through different things. So these are just irrational humor.
Oh yeah. This is just banter.
Yeah, this is just banter. Having said that, I would love to hear some of the irrational. Like, I want the most
bad breath. Okay, well, that is the worst. Just wanted to put that out there. Bad breath is bad. Like, no matter how cute, just a tip for the brothers, no matter how cute you are, no matter what car you drive,
you know what?
If your breath smells, whoa.
What I want to also add to that is I need everybody to brush and scrub their tongue. Because, like, your tongue needs to be pink.
Sometimes it's a health issue, though.
First,
you should go to the doctor.
The way you said
that's advice.
I think you should.
I think you should go to the doctor.
See a doctor for these issues. Yeah, no, that's true.
I think everyone should invest in their health in 2023. Go see a GP. Obviously, if you got to pay for it, reconsider. Just some at home things, you know, a tongue scraper, mouthwash.
Oh my gosh, dad dancing.
No, I've never experienced that.
Oh.
I've never experienced that.
Oh, it's real. You know what I hate about dad dancing is the fact that they're looking at you. It's the eye contact. So you're dancing badly, but they're looking at you. So
who's ever done that? I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
You've never
before.
seen that. Never experienced that. Like a guy that wants to dance with you, and he's like,
no,
it's the worst thing in the world, Courtney. Honestly. No, but can you imagine? Or like, okay, so imagine if somebody's like an Azonto warrior, like really doing
that's different. That's
they're giving you eye contact.
That's a big ick. But I don't think anyone gives. Oh no.
And they're doing
That's a big ick. That's a big ick. Yeah, no. Anyway, each to their own. If that's your form of cardio, you do you. You do you.
It's the eye contact for me. Or like even like I don't know if this is controversial, but you know, like strip teases and stuff like. I don't like it when men do that. I don't like it when anyone does that, to be honest with you. You like a good little with the whole. I think
if you can move, even if you, I like it. I think it's cute.
The ones that are proper doing the.
I like a stripper.
Yeah.
No, I don't really feel for strippers, but like, if my man does a striptease for me,
if it's like.
Oh
man, there we go. That's situational, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm talking like full on like Magic Mike.
But them men be hot.
I mean,
they cute. And they can dance.
Well, sisters, we'd like to.
You are telling me that if Channing Tatum when he was younger, or Michael B. Jordan, or someone who could actually dance well. I'm trying to think of the perfect example of this, but like if you've watched Chocolate Factory or Magic Mike, that man, they get them straight to. I'm just like, okay, you're looking cute.
Man, I don't know. It just, if it's too much.
Oh yeah, I hear that. It has to be with a bit of swag.
Yeah, if it's too much, if like.
But that's anything. Like I think even with this whole like the ick things,
sitting on the chair and you're just there doing.
Yeah, no, I don't. That
like
whole
that.
like sit in a chair and let me dance around you
thing.
Yeah,
that's
not
what
what I like.
I'm
that's
like,
not what I like.
You be putting your hat on my
I don't
head.
like that.
You tied the tie around
That's
your
doing
neck.
too much. That's like a lap dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a lap dance. I don't really like that.
It's a no from me, dog. Don't lap dance. No. No.
Fair enough.
How do you feel about not us going to the what do you call it, sexual territory? Yeah, we gotta go. I was about to say, do you like folks dressing up?
I'm not going to discuss this on the podcast.
We will see you guys in the next episode. Unfortunately, we do not have time to talk about low vibrational plates.
Next episode. Next girl chat.
Next girl chat. We'll talk about low vibrational plates. But I will say, just as a disclaimer, I love me all big low vibrational plates. I am very much put that mac and cheese and that chicken,
but it's
and
not
everything
but
on
these
the plate.
That's just so. It's just dumb.
Isn't it?
The whole thing is just dumb. But hey,
we like
people are out
here
paying for people to talk to them like that.
Not you pay for someone to tell you put that chicken wing back.
Or food they've supplied to you.
Damn, have you seen that meme of that uncle that's got like 3 plates?
Yeah.
That's me at Thanksgiving. That's me at Christmas. That's me at my birthday. Like, I like food. You can call me the most low vibrational base woman that you like.
No, it was very stupid. Like, and I think it's definitely an example of a bigger issue. But like, what is a low vibrational meal? Like, people are taking certain things too far, and it's damaging. And it's dumb.
It's the whole.
But y'all, people are out there paying for it. So
there's you know what?
Maybe we're not onto something.
Maybe we're just not the target audience. Sometimes I look at things and I'm like, do you know what? It's not even like about criticism or whatnot. I respect that you have a different understanding of, you know, your values, and, you know, you have different ideals of the world. That's okay. I can respect that. I'm not your target audience. That's it. Case closed.
No, but I don't think anyone should be a target of that. Specifically. Nah, not somebody looking at your plate of food and in front of other people being like, that's a low vibrational plate. I've got a queen's plate. I would infer from your plate that you don't care about yourself or whatever. And I'm like, this is one snapshot of one moment of someone having one meal, right? But also, it was just embarrassing. And I think it's a full circle to the beginning of the conversation, in which it's like, why should someone be embarrassed about that?
Right.
And so many people have developed complexes because somebody has shamed them for the food that they've been eating or stuff like that. And so I think it's really sad. But at the same time, from what I've heard, this Miss Stormy, what's her name? Storm. She has helped a lot of these women, and even the woman that she was talking to, she's helped her on her journey more generally. So you know what, maybe that was just a bad moment, but I don't think that this is behavior that anyone should replicate or even like take any value from, because I don't think that was valuable. I don't think it was helpful. Now, if you're talking about the general gist of what, I guess we're getting into it, but if you're talking about the general gist of what she was saying in terms of like, maybe if she knew that woman was trying to like invest in her health, or that she's on a diet or whatever, and it's like, you know, you shouldn't really be eating that right now, and she's her accountability. Okay, cool. I wouldn't want that to be on camera. I think that was very distasteful. But if that's what you like,
right,
I guess, okay.
So each their own, man. I think I love what you're saying about like the complexes that you develop as a result of someone. Look, do you know how many people have developed some kind of insecurity as a result of one person saying that one comment about something? Especially when it comes to food and like being women, like our relationship, the amount of women, both my friends, myself, all of that kind of stuff, that have developed like food complexes, feeling discomfort with eating and stuff like that because of a comment that someone else said. Is immeasurable. And it's just, it embarrassed the lady, and I think that it's just not very sisterly. That's why it doesn't sit well with me. And I get it. I think it's a very good example of one of the reasons why I kind of hate the personal development and motivational space sometimes, which is people think that they need to come hard and at the jugular and just be so cutthroat with what they say in order to bring about change. And it goes back to what you were saying about gentleness. I think within sisterhood, or even in trying to, you know, hold somebody accountable and make them better, not that I think this plate was even a problem, but if that's what she was trying to do, I think there's an approach to it that matters as equally as the contents of what you say, or your intention behind it. Like, your approach actually really matters, and I hated this approach. Bring all the low vibrational plates. We gonna need it. We like it. We will flatline. If you want low vibration, how about we give you a flatline? You know how people be going for the smaller plates? Can you give me the large over there?
Give it all just to prove a point. But Yeah, there was a lot in that.
Yeah, that was a lot. We'll dig into low vibrational plates. We'll even dig into the whole we might even have to do a fuller episode just on like the female personal development space.
Yeah, for sure.
Because,
sounds good.
Yeah. Anyways, we have nattered on and on, but sisters, as always, we would love to get your commentary, your thoughts. We've spoken about embarrassment. We've spoken about shame. We've spoken a little bit about them low vibrational plates. And of course, we want to know those icks. Like, I want to have a good chuckle. I want to hear stories. What are some icks that have completely given you forced you to do a 360 on either a guy, a girl, or somebody that you know? Let us know down below. And of course, you can follow us on all of our social platforms here on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Damn, we everywhere. We everywhere. And you should follow now because 2024 looks like it's going to be a hoot.
2023.
Sugar.
But 2024 will be bigger.
2020. You know what? 2024, we in South Africa. So
come on.
You know, it's going to be a hoot. I know the South Africa sisters listening, they've been beating us. No, they've actually been
actually cannot wait to come and see you guys.
You heifers need to pack your bags, so we're coming. It will be very sooner than you think. We love you guys. So please support, follow, share the podcast. Let's get some more of those devotees to the sisterhood going. And honestly, please enjoy the rest of these episodes because season 3 is coming to an end real soon. Mad. We got like what, three more episodes after this, and then
Season
hasta la
4,
vista,
baby.
So make sure that you follow and you are tuned in so that you don't miss all of the surprises and all the excellent stuff we'll be coming out with in 2023. And of course, come and say hi to us individually. The lovely lady to my left in the royal blue for a royal woman at CD Boateng. Make sure that you subscribe to her YouTube channel as well. Those vlogs are coming thick and fast. It is Vlogmas. Tis the season to watch a video or 3, and whilst you're there, like, subscribe. Don't just be
comment. Let me know that you're abound.
There we go. Be proactive. And of course, come and follow me on all platforms at Renee Kapuku.
We love to see it. And if you want to keep plugged in and like get aware of all the international trips, how to sign up, how to apply, all of that good stuff, as well as getting weekly glowing and growing tips straight to your inbox, you want to sign up to the To My Sisters mailing list. That's where it's happening at. So go to our website, tomysisters.com, type in your email, and you're on for life, baby. We will not spam you, I promise. But if you haven't already, rate the podcast 5 stars. I was telling Renee this yesterday. I am the most proud, okay, of the fact that we have like over 2,000 5-star ratings or around that range. And honestly, it does so much for the podcast and we are so appreciative. So continue to rate us if you haven't already. 5 stars is preferred. 4 stars is okay. 3 stars or below is an email. And you can email us at hello@tomysisters.com with your feedback.
That is so funny. Yes, sisters, please send us the feedback and not the 3 stars because clearly you hate us if you do that. And as we have spoken about on this podcast, gentleness is important. Be gentle with us. Thank you. God bless. Sisters, we will be back, although time is ticking because we ain't gonna be around for much longer, but we'll be back.
Do you keep saying that?
No, because I want there to be a sense of ominousness.
You keep making it sound like we're going away. We're gonna be here every week.
I don't want them to get too comfortable.
Don't get too familiar.
Don't get familiar, because one of these days
we won't be here.
We won't be around. Okay. But sisters, that's much more than enough from us. You have a fabulous, blessed, and wonderful week. A wonderful start to this new month as well. We are praying blessings and we want you to have an excellent week and an excellent start to the last month of the year. Congratulations for getting this far. We love you so much, and as ever, keep glowing and growing.